Hello everyone, this is Atul Mishra, lecturer in Mechanical Department of Pravin Patil College of Diploma Engineering and Technology. We are studying automobile engineering subject in 6th semester. Okay, in this automobile subject we have completed our first chapter, okay, that is Introduction to Automobile. In that chapter we have studied about different layouts of automobile like front engine, rear wheel drive, rear engine, rear wheel drive, and so on. And we have discussed about the what is body, chassis, and frame of the automobile. And we have also discussed about the nomenclature of the automobile, and we have also discussed the classification of automobile on different basis. Okay, in this chapter we are going to see about the automobile transmission system. Okay, so if you talk about the transmission system, then it involves different parts will be like engine is going to be generate the power. Okay, after the generation of power it required to be send it to the wheels for the propulsion of the vehicle. Okay, so from engine to the wheel, driving wheel, we have some parts. That parts will be like we have clutch, we have gearbox, we have propeller shaft, and we have differential, we have axles, and that propeller shaft are going to be joined with the help of universal joints and slip joints. So these are the parts which are called as a part of transmission system. Okay, so transmission is going to be done with the help of these parts only. Okay, so we are going to see that parts in detail in this chapter, that is automobile transmission system. Okay, so what we are going to see in this video, we are going to see the function of clutch and necessity of clutch, classification of clutch, working principle of clutch, construction and working of single plate. In that single plate we are going to see coil spring and diaphragm spring. Then we are going to see multi-plate clutch and centrifugal clutch. Okay, these are the topics we are going to discuss in this video. So let's move. Function of clutch and necessity of clutch. So what is the function of clutch and why it should be there? Why it is necessary to be fitted in the automobile? So clutch is a device which is used in the transmission system of automobile to engage and disengage the engine to the transmission or gearbox. Okay, so it engage and disengage engine to the transmission system or the gearbox. So why engaging and disengaging is required? Because when we supposed to transfer the power from engine to the wheels, okay, they are getting connected by means of gearbox and propeller shaft and differential. So in between that we are having clutch. So clutch is going to engage and disengage the engine to the gearbox. Okay, when it get engaged means the power is getting transmitted from the engine to the gearbox. When it is disengaged means we are not getting power from the engine to the gearbox. Okay, in why we require to be disengage it? Because while we are changing the torque, okay, while we are changing the gears at that particular time, okay, we supposed to disengage it from the engine. For that purpose we required clutch, so as to avoid the damage occurring in the gear teeth. Okay, to avoid the wear and tear of the gear. Okay, and for the smooth drive you can say we required clutch. It is located between the transmission and the engine. When the clutch is engaged, the power flow from the engine to the rear wheel in a rear wheel drive transmission, and the vehicle moves. When the clutch is disengaged, the power is not transmitted from the engine to the rear wheel and the vehicle stops even if engine is running. Okay. Now classification of clutch. So we classify the clutch in different, that is single plate clutch. In that we are having single frictional plates. multi-plate clutch, cone clutch, centrifugal clutch, electromagnetic clutch, and hydraulic clutch. So these are different clutch in which clutch is classified. Now, working principle of clutch. On what principle the clutch work? It works on the principle of friction. Okay, when two friction surfaces are brought in contact with each other and they are united due to the friction between them, if one is revolved, the other will also revolve. Okay, as in this diagram we can see we are having these two components D1 and D2. Suppose D1 is driver and D2 is going to be driven. Okay, when we bought that D1 and D2 put together, so when this unite and combine and become a single unit, okay, due to the friction in between the surface of this D1 and D2, this is going to be as a single unit, and whatever the rotation is going to be there with the D1, with the same rotation that D2 is going to be rotated, and that is going to be happen with the responsible, what is the responsible factor in between, that is friction, that is going to happen due to friction only. So the working principle of clutch is only friction, and that friction is depend upon the area of contact, okay, and the material of that component. Okay, if the material will be rubber, then they are going to have more friction. If the material is going to be plastic or steel, or depending on the material and the area of contact, the friction is going to be less or more. So on that basis we can decide our clutch is good or bad. Okay, now construction and working of single plate clutch. Okay, before construction and working, let's see the components. What are the components of the clutch? So this is the driving shaft which is going to carry the power from the engine. Okay, after that we are having this flywheel. Okay, this is the flywheel. After that flywheel we are having frictional lining. Okay, this is frictional lining. This is clutch plate. This is pressure plate which is going to apply the pressure which is going to be exerted by this spring to this clutch plate. Okay, this is spring, coil spring. Then we are having hub, and that we are having thrust bearing. This is driving shaft. Okay, and we are having handle. Okay, here in this position we are having fulcrum pin. Okay, so these are the components. This is the actual view, how the actual, when you going to observe the clutch, so it is going to be like this. This is the flywheel, this is pressure plate, this is frictional plate, these are the coil spring, and this is cover. This is how actually the clutch, single plate clutch looks like. This is the cut section of it, so as to understand the components of the clutch. Okay, then how it works when we talk about the working of it. So when we apply pressure, okay, when we apply pressure at this spindle, so due to this fulcrum pin, okay, this part is going to be move in this direction, means the backward direction. So when it is going to be in backward direction, so this pressure plate is going to remove the pressure, and along with this is going to carry the this pressure plate or friction plate is going to be disengaged from this flywheel. Okay, this frictional lining is going to be disengaged from the flywheel. So in that case we can, in that condition we can change our gear. After that, when we release this spindle pressure, so by this retracting spring is going to push this pressure plate so as to engage this clutch plate to the flywheel. So again it is going to be rotate by the single unit. When it is pressure is applied, then it got disengaged, and the rotation is not going to transfer to this shaft. Okay, when we release this pressure, this spring is going to retract the original position. Okay, by the retracting its original position, it is going to engage this, and that this whole assembly is going to be a single unit, and then the rotation is going to be transmitted from this shaft. Okay, this is how the diaphragm spring. So the components are seen as of this single plate clutch. In that diaphragm also this is the same, but the difference is with the in the place of this coil spring we have replaced it with the help of this diaphragm spring. Okay, with the help of this we can understand how it works. When we apply pressure from this handle to this clutch disc, okay, so this spring is going to be pushed in forward direction, but when the pressure plates are connected at the end, it is going to be pushed in backward direction. So in that case it is going to be disengaged from the engine, or you can say the flywheel. So after the whatever requirement of disengage that clutch we have completed, again when we release the pressure, it is going to be again retrain its original position, and again it is going to be engaged with the flywheel, and the rotation is going to be transmitted, means the power is going to be transmitted. So this is how it looks like. Okay, in real it is looks like this. When we want to identify the diaphragm spring single plate clutch, so this is how it looks. Okay, this is the spring. This is the spring. When it get pushed, it is going to carry that pressure plates with it. So in that case it get disengaged. When we release the pressure, it again get engaged. This is the friction lining. Okay, now multi-plate clutch. The difference in single plate clutch and multi-plate clutch is only the number of plates are going to be increased in multi-plate clutch, and in single plate clutch only single frictional linings are there. Means clutch plate is only one in the single plate clutch, but there are going to be multiple single clutch plates in the multi-plate clutch. So here let's see first the components of multi-plate clutch. Then we are having flywheel, we are having engine shaft, we are having frictional lining, we are having clutch plates, then we have pressure plates, we are having coil spring. Okay, then we are having again clutch shaft, this is clutch spindle, then throughout bearing we are having. So the function of this also same as of single plate clutch coil spring. Okay, the difference is only that when we require to be clutch, when we want to minimize the size of clutch, okay, when we have less space for the clutch assembly, so then in that case we use multi-plate clutch. For example, when we are using clutch in the bikes, so we don't have larger space to be fitted, so in that case we use multi-plate clutch, but the power amount of power we required same. So for getting that power, we have multiplied the number of plates. We have increased the number of plates so as to gain the same frictional power as of single plate clutch. But the size of the single plate clutch and multi-plate is going to be different. Okay. So application, when we talk about the application of it, so you can generally see in the bikes. In bikes, we are having multi-plate clutch. This is centrifugal clutch. So let's see the component. This is flywheel, this is frictional lining, we are having engine shaft through which engine is going to supply the power. Then we have bearing, then this is centrifugal force lever, but then we are having clutch spring, then this cover and this pressure plate. Then the working principle of this clutch is same as of it is going to work on the friction only, but it is the friction, or you can say the pressure which is going to be applied by this centrifugal clutch is due to centrifugal force only. Okay, when the vehicle, or you can say wheel, is going to rotate, or you can say this engine shaft is going to rotate the whole assembly, then this weight, you can say this centrifugal force, is going to be away from the center. So when it goes away from the center, then it is applied, then it is going to apply the pressure on this pressure plate, so this will get engaged. Okay, automatically the when the speed is going to increase, the pressure is also going to be increased. Okay, so this is how this centrifugal clutch functions. Here you can see the different views of this same centrifugal clutch, how it actually look like. This is the actual look of centrifugal clutch. Okay, here we are having this known amount of weight. When it get start rotating, this moves away from the center and get engaged with the flywheel. Okay, thank you.